So I've been trying to not be as political on these video game streams and YouTube videos because I know not everybody shares the same politics as I do, and I like the idea of this being a space where we all come together and embrace our shared passion and celebrate our shared passion of games. But what's funny about what I'm about to talk to you about is that my knee jerk was, oh, do you want to make this video because it might be political? When basically this is a video about how shitty Nazis are and anti-Semites are and neo-Nazis are. And I'm like, when in the world did Nazism become a valid, acceptable political view that you need to be accepting of? Now, let me be clear. When it comes to life and video games, I am a staunch First Amendment supporter. I support the right for neo-Nazis to exist. I support the right for neo-Nazis to stand in a public place and express their horrific, awful, terrible views. I think neo-Nazis, anti-Semites, whoever the fuck you want, should be able to go onto a public college campus and stand in an auditorium and espouse their idiocy. I think A, it's good for college kids because it teaches them how to recognize bullshit, and B, it's their right. It's their right as Americans. As shitty as what they have to say is, it's their right. And even in video games, I love that you can't find anti-Semitic horseshit or anti-black horseshit on Steam, certainly not on PlayStation or Xbox or what have you. But look, there are really awful, I haven't played them, but they look really awful, anti-Semitic, anti-black, horribly racist, horribly xenophobic video games made for and or by neo-Nazi type folks. And those are on the internet, and they should be. They're allowed to be if they want to be. Don't get me wrong, these are disgusting, they're despicable, but that's the price we pay for having such a wonderful, important, and robust First Amendment in America. So I'm not opposed to that. But today there's a news story, and I saw this first on Niche Gamer, which is a website. And I go there from time to time to get news, but I hadn't seen this. The gist of the story is that Electronic Arts, EA obviously, specifically their German division, but I assume this is a global reaching initiative, has basically signed a proclamation to work with the ADL, which is the Anti Defamation League, to combat purported right-wing extremism and push social justice within gaming. Now, that's what these guys are saying, Niche Gamer. So there are a couple of organizations, specifically in Germany, that are basically saying, look, we have done studies. We want to do more studies. We are finding, and everybody knows this, this is not a secret, people have been talking about this for many years, that the online gaming ecosystem is rife with neo-Nazi, far right-wing type people who are trying to recruit and bring gamers into their fold.
The Pew Research Center says 97% of boys and the vast majority of girls play video games. Increasingly, they're playing online with strangers. Although it's rare, experts say these games can become an avenue for recruitment by right-wing extremist groups.
John's a father of 2 teenagers, and he said he never worried about his son's video game habit.
I knew nothing about any of this until one night I'd walked into my home office. I was shaking when I saw it.
He saw a pile of papers face down next to his printer. He turned them over and found a copy of a notorious neo-Nazi propaganda book.
It's white culture is in trouble and we are under attack by Jews and blacks and every other minority. It was scary. It was absolutely frightening to even see that in my house.
John confronted his son angrily. Like millions of other kids, John's son loved first-person shooter games. It's increasingly popular to play these games online and form teams with friends or strangers. And it's this way, John says, that his son started hanging out with avowed white supremacists. They keyed into his interests in military history and Nordic mythology.
He was now in the in crowd with these guys.
John learned his son had been drawn into at least one group that the Southern Poverty Law Center calls a Nazi terrorist organization.
So you've seen videos of this. I'm not saying is it widespread? Are these isolated incidents? I don't know, but these are people whose job it is to track this stuff. They're under the impression it's a problem. But I assume you would agree with me that one neo-Nazi out there trying to bring people into their cause on a Xbox, PlayStation, Steam, multiplayer game, Activision game, whatever, is one too many. And clearly there's more than one. Surprisingly, but stupidly, horrifically, embarrassingly, there is pushback against this by certain gamers, people at NeoGAF, people here at Niche Gamer, saying, oh, they're trying to push, like they say, push social justice. When did telling kids and gamers that neo-Nazis are the scum of the earth, that anti-Semites, that anti-black people are the scum of the earth, that xenophobes are the scum of the earth, when did that become social justice? When did that stop being just common sense and kindness and goodness and American values? And when did that become social justice? I don't know. But according to Niche Gamer and according to some of the folks over on NeoGAF, that's what this is. Now, before we get there, their facts aren't even right. Okay, this is journalism. It is what it is. We know how shitty a lot of journalism is these days, and it's Niche Gamer. Who knows? Maybe who knows who the fuck's writing this? It says Good Gaming, which is one of these organizations. There's two organizations EA signed up with. One is Good Gaming, and the other one is called No Pixels for Fascists. There's organizations that try to scope out and protect gamers or identify gamers that are horrific people that are bringing people into the fold. So Good Gaming, they say, is supported by, I'm going to fuck up her name, Amandu Antonio Foundation, an activist group headed by former Stasi secret police informant Annette Kahane. Kahane got in trouble recently for sending brochures to German schools claiming a girl's family is right-wing if she wears dresses or does chores at home. That's not what it says. How do I know that's not what it says? Because if you actually go, first off, this is what EA signed, or this is their proclamation. I challenge anyone to read this and have a problem. It's basically saying the majority of gamers reject sexist, racist, and anti-Semitic attitudes. However, the Good Gaming Project sees a loud and resolute stance against misanthropy, both in games and in the corresponding communities that are underrepresented. That is why campaigns are developed that, in cooperation with passionate supporters of gaming culture, convey a clear message for a strong digital civil society in gaming. How are you opposed to that? I don't know. But anyway, this Good Gaming group published in German a booklet back in the day that basically was talking about signs for parents to look out for odd behaviors and things that might give a signal that they are getting in with kids that might be, frankly, neo-Nazis or have some really awful fucking ideas. What these people are saying at Niche Gamer is, oh, well, this woman sent a brochure home saying a girl's family is right-wing if she wears dresses. No, it doesn't. Here's how I know, because I fucking took the brochure and then I put the fucking brochure into, here's the brochure right here. I put it into fucking Google Translate, and within minutes, you realize this is what it says. In daycare centers, two siblings stand out who are particularly cautious and little from home, basically from the weekend. This is translated, but you get the gist. They behave in the morning circle at the beginning of the week, silent and passive. At the same time, there are no so-called discipline problems. These kids seem particularly to feel good. In addition, traditional gender roles are recognized in the styles of upbringing. The girl wears dresses and pigtails. Home and handcrafts are instructed. The boy is physically challenged, meaning athletic and drilled. Both of them often come to the facility, the school, in the morning after completing a run. Now the girl invites several other kids from the daycare center to her birthday party. Some parents whose kids are invited know that the parents belong to a right-wing extremist comradeship group and are worried what might happen on the kid's birthday. Nowhere in this does it say kids who have braids and blonde hair and are athletic are neo-Nazi kids. It says the kids whose parents are neo-Nazis and they are known right-wing extremists, sorry, not neo-Nazis, have kids, and the kids happen to have braids and be athletic, right? But, you know, if you're over at Niche Gamer, you have no problem saying the woman who runs Good Gaming got in trouble for sending home brochures to German schools claiming a girl's family is right-wing if she wears dresses or does chores at home. It's utter horseshit. And then you go on over to EA, the EA story on NeoGAF, and NeoGAF's gotten better. I don't like Reset Era for sure. I do like GAF, but sometimes it's like, what the fuck are these guys thinking? They literally read this story and go, apparently it's not enough they take our money. We must conform to their political mindset? You don't need to conform, but here's a news tip, pal. Whatever your name is, was this guy's name Gray Horace? If you have a problem with a publicly traded company suggesting that they want their online games to be free of anti-Semites, racist, xenophobes, that they don't want those people on their servers and using them to bring other folks into their fold, and you think that is conforming to a political mindset, yeah, it's called the American mindset. It's called the mindset of what happened after we won World War II and beat the fuck out of the Nazis. Okay, I don't understand how you and your mind have turned this into some kind of social... You're telling me social justice warring is being anti-Nazi now? Are you out of your fucking mind? And this goes on. Does that mean killing Nazis is bad? Maybe stop treating gamers as turbo nerd, incel Nazis who need to be shielded from radicalization at all cost. Yeah, well, I don't know if they need to be shielded at all costs, but if you're a company... you know what? You're at Disneyland. Disneyland's supposed to just let the KKK have a KKK day and the Nazis have a Nazi day? Just leave politics out of gaming, you cunts, says Ozzy Anya. This is not politics and gaming. If anything, they're trying to pull this shit out of gaming. They're trying to pull out these far-right, dangerous ideas that will allow impressionable kids who are playing these games to be indoctrinated. That's politics and gaming. I wonder if the more diversity they are creating includes diversity of thought and political stance. Look, man, let me be clear. This is Niku Nashi. As I said, I got no problems if Nazis want to espouse their views. They have every right to in America, okay? That's the ironic wonder of America. You get to do that. You get to stand on the steps of a public square and prove what a moronic asshole you are, and you, rightly so, get First Amendment protection for that, okay? But if you're saying diversity of thought and diversity of politics should include a positive view of neo-Nazis, I mean, you have that right, but where did you get educated? How in the world are you going to sit there and support Nazis and racists and xenophobes? If EA wants to say, look, we have customization and Need for Speed, we have visual customization in Battlefront, Battlefield, whatever, and they want to say, no, you can't have the swastika, you're going to push back on that? You think people should be able to run around a $100 million plus game made for everyone, because I think it's a T-rated game, with fucking a clan that has literally the Klan on their insignia or Nazis? And I could see it now in the comments. Well, what if they said Black Lives Matter? Look, Black Lives Matter, Antifa, Trump supporters, all of those people I think should be able to express themselves in video games. I don't think politics should be pushed out of video games. I don't think politics should be pushed out of being able to express yourself through customization in video games. But being a Trump supporter or being BLM supporter or Antifa supporter is not the same thing as being a Nazi or a racist or a xenophobe. Now, are there racist, Nazi, xenophobes in some of those groups? Sure. But that's not what those groups represent, okay? Or at least not what for most people. So don't fucking come at me like those are equal. These are the fucking Nazis we're talking about, you morons. The fucking Nazis. What kind of diversity of thought do you want? You want to bring out Mein Kampf and sort of have a debate on the value of what Hitler was espousing? Come on. Where did you fuckers get educated? I don't know. All I will tell you is I was not going to talk about politics, but I'll tell you what, let me just be clear. If you come to my streams, if you come to this channel, I love that you're here. I love that you have time. And if you're a Trump supporter, you're welcome. If you're a Bernie, if you're a Biden, if you're not going to vote, you're welcome. I don't agree with a lot of those things, but you're welcome to be here, and I'm glad you're here. But if you literally think Nazism, anti-Semitism, xenophobia, and racism is the way you see the world and want to see the world, then please go away. Never come to my channel. Unfollow me on Twitter. Don't come to the streams. Don't give me any money. I want nothing to do with you until you ultimately take that money and take that time that you've spent watching these videos or hanging out on my stream. And I want you to get some fucking therapy and get some fucking help, because it's 2020 and we need to seriously get past the fact that we are looking at people who are Jewish, Muslim, Black, Asian as anything other than fellow humans. And I'm not on a soapbox. I'm not sitting here trying to virtue signal. I'm saying things that your fucking father or your fucking mother, if they had given a shit about you, should have taught you. But clearly nobody did, so there you go. It falls on me.